Who is the Lawal?
Allah.
Who is Ar-Rahman?
Allah.
Who is Al-Mannan?
La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger, to Allah is our return. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger, to Allah is our return. La ilaha illallah,
Muhammadur Rasul.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم آمين. I seek refuge in Almighty Allah against Shaitan their caused, and I begin in the name of Almighty Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Bear witness, as I always do, that there is nobody that deserves any form of worship except Almighty Allah, who created the heavens and the earth and all that are inside them. I also testify that the leader of mankind, Muhammad, with whom be peace and blessings of Allah, is the last prophet of God, who deliver a message of salvation to all and sundry. May his peace and blessings be on the leader of mankind, Muhammad, and all those follow this right path, Amen, as well as our viewers. Distinguished brothers and sisters in Islam, you are welcome to today's edition of your program, Islamic Focus. Let me acknowledge the sponsor of this program, who is a well-known Muslim and a member of the Muslim Media Watch Group. He doubles as the chairman of the board of trustees of the Muslim Media Watch Group of Nigeria. May Allah continue to be with him and answer all his prayers.
Amen.
For those who watched this program last week, we were privileged to have the executive chairman of Sokoto State Zakat Commission, Engineer Muhammad Lawal Maidoki, as our guest. He spoke on welfare of the masses, the Islamic standpoint. And in summary, he told us that some of the insecurity problems we are facing, economic problems we are facing, lack of social infrastructures that we face, are not prevalent in Arab countries and even in the European world and Latin America. We are facing this problem because we failed to toe the path, the right path which Almighty Allah has given us. And that is the fact that the first pillar of Islam is Iman, believing in God. The second is to observe 5 daily prayers. The third is giving zakat, that is putting money into the purse of the less privileged so that they will not feel the heat of being less privileged. I'm happy to inform you that today we have Engineer Muhammad Lawal Maidoki again on our program to complete that aspect of welfare for the masses which is lacking in Nigeria and some African countries before we move to the topic of today, which is Nigeria and good governance. Engineer Maidoki, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Last week, if you missed that edition, I told you our guest today was the president of Muslim Students of Society of Nigeria, MSS, for several years. Also became national president of National Council of Muslim Youth Organizations in Nigeria. And today is the president of the Dawah Coordinating Council of Nigeria. That's a body that puts together all Muslim bodies that are involved in Islamic propagation for quarterly meetings on way forward for the progress of Islam. But officially, he is the executive chairman Zakat Commission, Sokoto State. Having highlighted some of the problems we have in this country, which is causing a lot of discomfort to the rulers and the ruled, you told us that when we meet today, you are going to elaborate on how to reduce poverty in the society, especially the aspect that concerns removing beggars from our streets. You have only 5 minutes to explain this. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin. I think first and foremost, if the leaders agree with what you have submitted,
No.
that is the beginning.
No.
To agree that and the solution provided by God Almighty is the answer. And nobody knows better than Allah.
Oh.
And let them try what Allah said and see whether the solution will be there or not.
No.
Since other system has been tried, Nigerian government has made a lot of support through very many support and spending billions and trillions of naira. Now, can the government and the people try this simple solution put forward by Allah?
Oh.
Then the solution will be felt, inshallah. Because apart from everything, Allah controls everything.
That's true.
He blesses what He wants to bless. And He does not bless what He doesn't want to bless.
No.
So in zakat, that's why I said, when they give sadaqah, it purifies them. It purifies the wealth. And pray for them.
No.
Wasalli alayhim. Pray for them. When you pray for them, it gives them peace and tranquility in their wealth. Now, my advice that if the people hear and accept is now to create a body that will now sit from the MS side, like in Sokoto, the Sultan side and the government side come together. Now brought the ulama and other stakeholders discuss on the issues and the way forward peculiar to Kwara and every other society. When that is done, then of course the government has to think from the meager source the government is getting, either as IGR or from the federal allocation. Can the government set aside some money only for the downtrodden of the less privileged? Because there is a blind man that even when you give him money to do business, he cannot. There is an aged person, so old, no son, no daughter to take care of him.
Monthly pay.
He only needs some monthly pay
to
so
survive.
You cannot say this one, you put them in the 30,000 naira enrollment for 3 months, or you give them this cash transfer. Yeah, their own cash transfer should be very minimum, but should be continuous. Then there is also need to create awareness among the wealthy individuals, companies and industries to support this initiative of the government. I'm sure people will listen. Because when they listen then, you have trusted people to manage the wealth. If it is zakat, it has its own principle. If it is waqf, it's based on the giver, what he has prescribed to be done as endowment. If it is charity, and then the charity, the ulama, the people will decide how to administer the charity, just to start. And then you also involve the beggars, like all these beggars, not to chase them away, call them, sit with them, ask the ulama to talk to them about Islam did not allow this begging. Islam did not encourage this begging. Sorry, it allows it when you don't have. But the moment you get, you stop.
Go back home.
So the issue of
Many of these people, they don't have homes.
Then,
address that.
Then that issue, you have to bring them together. You now take their statistics. Those who have home, you know they have home. Those who does not have home, you know they don't have home. And you have to create shelter for them. It is incumbent on the governance. It is on the SDG 2030. All governments which Nigeria is a signatory.
SDG.
SDG 2030. Nobody should be left bare. No, it's a part of the human rights.
Nobody should be homeless.
Nobody should
regardless
be homeless.
of
Nobody should be homeless. Zero hunger. It's part of the 17 SDG. Now, Nigeria has to fulfill its own obligation. So, in Kwara, in every other state, take the statistics of the needy. In Sokoto, we have them. Now, you give them what you can. According to your end. Then you also now counsel them, teach some of them. Those who that you can teach some skills, teach them some skill and some entrepreneurship, give them some seed, money, let them go on their own. But those who cannot afford, maintain them, take care of their health, take care of their food, take care of their shelter. They have right over us. One, Allah has made it a right. Two, the entire world has met at the United Nations and said, these are our goals for 2030. This 70-80 goal, Nigeria has signed into it. And we shouldn't say...
And when you sign, you must fulfill.
You are committed. لِمَ تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ كَبُرَ مَقْتًا إِنَّ اللَّهَ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. So the entire leaders of Nigeria should look at this as a way to easily overcome this issue of poverty and take away these beggars. It is not an issue of harassment. If you don't give them, you don't even know their situation, you go and harass them. Remember Allah said, "Irham fil ard yarhamukum man fis sama."
No.
And if you do otherwise, you become so harsh to those at the downtrodden. Allah has His own ways. Inna batasha rabbika lashadud. And Allah knows how to catch you and put you into trouble that you may not even know. Things can happen and Allah will be the one to assist. So my submission is that let's accept. Let's look into it. Let's look at various ways. Today in Sokoto State, we are on the way of thinking how civil servants and all those who work, even in private companies, can give out a certain, even if it is 0.2% of their salary to that post.
So to get rewards from Allah?
Yes, to get the reward from Allah. And now they have succeeded in helping the needy. Tomorrow they may be the one. Tomorrow they may be in the same shoe. Their children may be in the same shoe. Only God knows. But the basic thing, if you help someone, God will help you. And the authority has to look into this because they are the one to be asked first by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on Yawm al-Qiyamah.
No.
You cannot lead at local government level, at state level, or at traditional level.
And at the national level.
And you must be asked by Allah. So you can only, by rahmah
taking
of
responsibility,
Allah, if
you
you have
fulfilling.
done the best you can, what you cannot do, Allah will forgive you on that. And then,
But if what you are able to do and you fail to do, Allah will punish.
True. No two way about it.
My dear brother Lawal Maidoki, I'm afraid this, our program of welfare for the masses, the Islamic viewpoint, will continue on this platform. We'll bring another episode for Nigeria and good governance, making 3 episodes. Let's continue on that. In Nigeria today, we have a situation whereby government, at the state level in particular, establish certain agencies to take care of people. In Kwara here, we have what is called QASIP. QASIP means Kwara State Social Investment Program, whereby those who are doing certain work have the opportunity of accessing loan, 15,000, 50,000, 100,000, even up to million. These are for those who are on job and they are giving this loan. There are associations of quarters that in states where they establish all this type of thing, publicity, propaganda on what they are doing is what we see. The beneficiary are mostly those who are in their government or those who support their government that political consideration is used to make people benefit in this program. But where I want you to go is for the less privileged. That's a socio-economic program for the people. For the less privileged, I think what you are doing in Sokoto is the most appropriate thing, and that is beggars, census are carried out, less privileged, including the disabled, we have their numerical details and all whatnot, and you pay them certain amount of money every month. How do you think we can make welfare for the less privileged a national program that will reduce poverty to the barest minimum? That is, national will do so, or national collaborate with state to organize that program so that poverty is reduced in Nigeria, which you experience so far.
You see, everything as Muslims or as Christians who believe in God, we have to agree that God knows everything and He can deliver whatever hardship you find yourself,
Mm.
there is a solution if you rely on God.
No.
But when you are dealing with God, you have to be very sincere.
No.
If you say God, but you mean something else, whether you are a leader, whether you are a worker, whether whoever you are, even if you are a husband or a wife, you say God, but in your mind you mean something.
You are not transparent.
God knows. And God will not allow you to accomplish your mission. And even if He allows you to do it, there is a way He is going to catch you on that.
No.
In Al-Baqarah,
The building inside.
now, as I'm telling you, the office of the minister on the social investment
Okay.
and the office of the national advisor to the president on social investment, both Honorable Sadia and Honorable Mariam Oweisu have had interaction with Sokoto State Zakat and Endowment Commission.
No.
And we have been able to display to them our vision and mission through Zakat and Endowment, how it has helped people out of poverty with examples from many other parts of the world, including a system of graduating a zakat taker to a zakat giver. We call it graduating mustahik to muzaki. And how
Those who receive now become those who are giving us.
And there are so many reasons,
No.
including creating Baitul Mal wa Tamwil. Now, one of the missing link is to make people themselves appreciate their problem and come into terms with the reality and now buy into projects and activities that they themselves, they will pilot and will be supported by the government, not directly by the government. Because directly by the government goes to a lot of cons. And we do apology to our brothers in politics. They do not allow things to go straight. In my own case, in Sokoto State, the governor, Right Honorable Aminu Zitawal, and His Eminence the Sultan were able to clearly tell everybody that zakat and waqf are not political issues. Therefore, nobody should bring politics into zakat. Whether you belong to party A or party B or party C or party D, as long as you are a Muslim, zakat is incumbent on you.
Even if you are a non-Muslim,
If you are not a non-Muslim, they also give their own zakat. They all give their own, and it does not, zakat is not applicable to political party.
Wow.
It is only applicable.
The way they loot in the political system,
No, it is
you
not.
won't allow it in the zakat
It
commission.
will not happen in zakat and endowment commission. And you cannot bring politics into zakat.
No.
Because we don't even discriminate between a Muslim or a non-Muslim, between an indigent
And
or
a
an
non-indigent. Once
What
you live in that state,
what you need to do is when you have the structure, and the structure has to be balanced. In this case, like in Kwara or at the national level, there should be trustworthy people who will be entrusted with management of that wealth. And that wealth should be out of any political game. Now, if you can achieve that, I want to assure you, without any favor or any favoritism by anybody or any tribe or any clan, some of these things will be achieved and they will continue. They don't die with the government in power. If you look at right from the military
they are all
to
sustainable.
political, they have all brought a lot of programs. You can mention them, so many. I don't want to mention any on this on the program now, but a lot of programs. But the program goes together with the creators. But look at my own case. Zakat and endowment, during one governor, it transcends another governor, even made it a commission. And it is our hope
From
that
committee to commission.
from committee to commission. So it is our hope that another governor, when he comes, he will also solidify what this zakat is doing. Because we are opening through tree waqaf, we are opening through different waqaf model that is serving the community. Today, even with a stand of cashew, 2, 3, 5, 7 cashew, you stand to eliminate poverty at the grassroots in some few years to come. So we are working on the present, and we are also working on the future. Because our people are agrarian. If you take Kwara now, Kwara should have been one of the hope for cashew development. And in that cashew development, if every Kwara, every person in Kwara can agree to plant one cashew tree, how many people in Kwara?
We're over 2 million.
Over 2 million.
Close to 3 million.
Then if we have 3 million cashew, next year we have 3 million cashew, next year we have 3 million cashew. Because we are enjoying the trees we see around. Who planted them?
Some people.
Then why is ours?
None.
Then that is a mistake. Everybody should come to town. The least wakaf you can do, the least endowment you can do for you, for your own self, in this world and in the life hereafter, is to plant a tree. If you plant a tree, you are planting your future of more than 100 years. If a bat eats from it, you get what? If somebody sits under it, you get what? If somebody takes from it, you get what? And it also addresses one of the 17 MDGs.
Thank you very much. Now, I want you to address an issue, and it's very crucial. We're asking governments at the state level to take a bold step to take care of the less privileged, apart from their political program of giving loans to some people, paying some old women, old men, 5,000, 10,000 monthly or so, of occasionally. Have we addressed the issue of those who have worked for the government at the local government level and retired, state government and retired? Let's leave federal to federal. State and local government. We have thousands of people who have retired and have not gotten their gratuity. Their gratuities are not paid. Only the monthly pension is being paid. Here in Kwara, whether you work for state or local government, they get their monthly pay. What do you want to tell leaders? Because you are in Kwara today, that as you have come in, you have you have been given opportunity to be in charge of assets as well as liabilities. They are running away from that liability. I'm not the one that hold them. What can you say from Islamic point of view for unpaid gratuity across the whole federation?
You see, government is not personal. Governments are not personal. If you inherit whatever you inherit in government, it has become your liability. And it is expected that irham man fil ardi yarhamukum man fis sama. Be compassionate to those on the land. He on and the above will be
compassionate with you.
Number two, kafa bil mar'i isman.
Nah.
It is enough for a man to be a sinner when he refuses to take care of the person he is supposed to take care of him in terms of feeding and clothing. And if you have any liability of someone who has worked for you and he has reached his age of retirement, the famous hadith of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, please pay him before his sweat get dry from his body. Now, if you want to meet Allah
in
peace, there is a need for you to look and say, even if that is what you can do, by whatever means, sometimes loans cannot be paid at once. And that is why Allah said, I owe you 10,000, but I cannot pay you now. Maybe I can pay you 1,000 now. Next month I pay you 1,000. Next month I pay you 1,000. And Allah said, Allah said, please be merciful to those who cannot afford at that time. Give them time. Give them time. So if you give them time, in that time they reduce. Whatever you start reducing, by the time you are reducing, you are paying. Allah will open many gates for you to get better things than that what you are giving.
So that to attain his
so that not only what, for you to be in peace.
Allah.
Because if you are a worker now in the government, you are going to be in the same shoe. You are going to be in the same shoe. Nobody work in the government and finish without coming back to the shoe of the retirees and pensioners. If Allah has given him life. So if you do that, Allah will help you gradually also. He will help you to pay off because of the intention. If you have good intention to pay, Allah will help you to pay. And then He will give you what to pay. And He will also give you peace and tranquility. And the prayer, somebody who is
of the beneficiaries,
he prays, oh Allah, thank you, forgive this, accept
reward
for this.
my governor for what he has done for me.
That is enough.
Thank you. Viewers from wherever you've been watching this program, this is the second episode of our Welfare of the Masses program, which we have brought to you. The first edition came up last week. This is the second edition. And the summary of our message is that all our governors across the Federation should peep into the depth they are owing retired civil servants in all the states of the Federation, either at the local government level or at the state government level. We are taking loans to improve infrastructures. We are taking loans in billions. Out of these loans, if you offset the gratuities of retired civil servants, either at the local government level or at the state government level, with 10 billion, you'll have done much. Because more and more people are retiring, and as you pay small amount of money, the indebtedness is graduating heavily. If you take loans or take bond of about 35 million or 40 billion, take 10 billion out of it, pay off those people you are owing at the local government and at the state level. You'll be able to take good care. And as for the masses who are poor, we have emphasized the need for states across the Federation to establish Zakat Commission, in which less privileged, the disabled, the less privileged people will benefit. The reward is not for us who are talking here. The reward is for you who have paid them, and for you who are taking good care of them. So this is where we are going to end today's edition of our program. There's still one more program for Malam Lawal Maidoki, the National President of Dawa Coordinating Council of Nigeria, who is an irrigation engineer as well as an expert on agricultural expansionist extension. Agricultural extension is an expert on it. And presently is the Sadaukin Sokoto, who has been turbaned over 3 years ago by the Sultan of Sokoto. May Allah continue to bless you and reward you abundantly. It is here we are going to lower the edition of today's program. Join us next week as we address another important topic, and that is Nigeria and good governance. So with this, myself and our guest, Engineer Lawal Maidoki, we are saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
All praise is due to the one and only. He is the master of all creation. All praise is due to the one and only. He is the master of all creation. He is the sustainer.